Imagine a night when the skies darken, not just with the shadow of a lunar eclipse, but with a profound cosmic shift that could alter the course of human history. What if this eclipse isn't just a celestial event, but a divine moment, offering humanity a chance to awaken spiritually? Meet Samuel Rivers, a top astrologer who's always trusted logic over magic. But when he gets a mysterious warning about an eclipse that will change everything, his world shifts dramatically. A near-fatal car crash sends him on a journey through realms beyond our understanding. In this story, follow Samuel as he encounters an angel, hears a powerful message from Jesus, and sees visions of a future hanging in the balance. Will humanity wake up to this cosmic call, or stay lost in chaos? If this journey into the cosmos spiritualizes your curiosity, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Join our community for more incredible tales and updates. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment about what you think of Samuel's journey, and share this with friends who love a good cosmic mystery. Your support helps us bring more amazing stories to life. Dive into this incredible journey and find out how Samuel's experiences might just hold the key to our future. Are you ready to explore these cosmic mysteries and see what choices we face? Samuel Rivers was a man of logic, a renowned astrologer with a sharp mind. Living in the bustling heart of the USA, he had dedicated his life to the study of stars and planets, relying on the science of astrology to make sense of the universe. He knew every movement, every pattern in the heavens, and understood their influence on human lives, but only from a scientific point of view. Anything beyond that, anything spiritual, was simply not part of his belief system. To Samuel, the idea of anything beyond the physical world was too complicated. But then something unusual happened. In the days leading to a rare lunar eclipse, Samuel began to notice small, strange irregularities in his celestial charts. They weren't glaring mistakes, just tiny dissimilarities that didn't quite match his calculations. At first, he brushed them aside, thinking maybe he'd missed something in his observations. But the oddities persisted, nagging at the back of his mind. There was a subtle shift in the patterns he'd relied on for years. Could the universe be telling him something? Or was this just a coincidence? Things took a turn when he received a mysterious message. It came in the form of a simple email, anonymous, with no sender, just a single line of text. The eclipse will change everything. That was it. No further explanation, no details. Just those 5 words staring back at him from the screen. For a brief moment, Samuel felt a chill run down his spine, but he quickly dismissed it. There was no reason to believe this lunar event would be any different from the countless others he'd studied throughout his career. After all, lunar eclipses, like all celestial events, were magnificent, yes, but they were nothing more than cosmic phenomena. To Samuel, the idea that this one eclipse could carry some grand, divine significance was absurd. He was a man of science, and science didn't entertain superstitions. Still, something about this eclipse felt different. Samuel couldn't quite explain it, but the closer the event got, the more uneasy he became. The anomalies in his charts kept pushing him back, and the cryptic message stayed at the forefront of his thoughts. It wasn't fear exactly, but a growing sense of anticipation, like something was about to happen, something beyond his control. As the day of the eclipse approached, Samuel continued his work, trying to push the strange feelings aside. He had always relied on rational thinking to navigate the mysteries of the universe, and this time would be no different. Or so he thought. What Samuel didn't know was that this lunar eclipse would change everything, just as the message had foretold. It would mark the beginning of a journey that would shatter his beliefs and take him beyond the limits of his understanding. Something unimaginable was coming, something that would challenge everything Samuel thought he knew about the world. The stage was set for a transformation that would push him into a realm far beyond the scientific boundaries he had lived by for so long. And in this transformation, Samuel would discover truths that would force him to confront the one thing he had always denied, the spiritual world. The eclipse was near, and with it, the start of a life-altering experience Samuel could never have predicted. Stay with us, because what Samuel is about to uncover will reveal shocking truths that have the power to change everything we think we know about life, the universe, and our place within it. Samuel couldn't shake the uneasy feeling that clung to him since the cryptic message about the lunar eclipse. Rationality had always been his compass, and yet here he was, standing at the edge of an abyss that no scientific theory could explain. He reread the message again. The eclipse will mark humanity's shift. Be ready for what follows. Normally, he would have laughed it off. Astrology could explain the stars, but it had never, in his view, held any mystical power to alter humanity's course. He had made a name for himself by dismissing superstition. Still, this time, something gnawed at him from deep inside. The precision of the message, the feeling it left him with. Samuel couldn't completely shake it. Night after night, strange dreams haunted him. They began subtly, a glimpse of an angelic figure, or a flash of light streaking across the sky. But soon, the dreams intensified. Now, celestial beings, angels maybe, appeared, not just standing idly by, but watching, observing humanity from above. They seemed to be witnessing something monumental. Worse still, Samuel saw flashes of humanity's future, vivid images of unrest, of division and chaos. In one particularly vivid dream, Samuel stood beneath the shadow of the lunar eclipse. The moon turned red, as though stained by blood, casting an eerie glow across the sky. He watched as landscapes shifted, cities crumbled, and the world descended into something he could barely recognize. He woke up drenched in sweat, the image of the blood-red moon seared into his mind. His days weren't much better. He tried to ground himself in the comforting routine of his work. Calculations, celestial predictions, studying the movement of the planets. But nothing was adding up. Small shifts in the stars, anomalies in the night sky. None of it matched the meticulous records he kept. Samuel checked and rechecked his equipment, convinced it was a mechanical error. But no, it wasn't that. It was real. The universe was behaving strangely, and Samuel couldn't explain why. This was more than an error in the charts. This was something he couldn't ignore any longer. But still, his rational mind fought to keep control. There had to be an explanation, didn't there? He refused to believe he was witnessing something divine or prophetic. He wasn't that kind of person. Logic had never failed him before. And yet, the dreams continued. Night after night, more vivid than the last, until Samuel could no longer dismiss them. The world was changing. He could feel it, see it in the sky, hear it in the stillness that surrounded him when he woke from those haunting visions. The celestial beings in his dreams weren't silent spectators. They were sending a message. But why? What were they trying to tell him? Samuel had always relied on the tangible, the numbers, the patterns, the facts. But now, faced with something he couldn't measure or explain, he was lost. The more he tried to resist the idea that this eclipse carried some deeper, mystical meaning, the more the evidence mounted. As the days counted down to the eclipse, Samuel's internal struggle deepened. His carefully built worldview, rooted in science and logic, was crumbling before his eyes. The signs were impossible to ignore now. The universe was speaking to him, but Samuel didn't know how to answer. And then, on the eve of the eclipse, Samuel had one final terrifying dream. The moon, eclipsed and blood-red, loomed overhead. But this time, the celestial beings weren't just watching. They were speaking to him. Their words were cryptic, but their message was clear. The eclipse would bring a shift, an irreversible change for humanity. Whether that change would be for better or worse, Samuel couldn't tell. He woke with a start, gasping for air. This time there was no shaking it off. He couldn't ignore what was coming any longer. The prophecy had said the eclipse would mark a shift in humanity. And now, for the first time, Samuel believed it. As the lunar eclipse drew nearer, Samuel Rivers couldn't shake a growing sense of unease. Despite the mounting signs and his own troubling dreams, he tried to carry on with his daily life, his work, his routines, and his long-standing skepticism. Everything seemed normal, but a nagging feeling that something extraordinary was about to happen lingered. Then, one fateful day, everything changed. Samuel was driving to an important appointment, his mind preoccupied with the unsettling celestial phenomena he'd been observing. The road stretched out before him, and the sky was darkening as evening approached. Just as he was lost in thought, disaster struck. A car suddenly swerved into his lane, its headlights blinding him. Samuel had barely a moment to react before the collision happened. The sound was deafening, metal twisting, glass shattering, and his world spinning violently. Everything went black. In the seconds that followed, Samuel experienced an eerie silence. He could no longer feel his body or the pain he expected. Instead, he found himself floating in a strange, almost dreamlike realm. It felt remarkably close to Earth, yet profoundly different. The distinction was clear. This was no ordinary place. He hovered in this unusual dimension, feeling weightless and untethered from the physical world. The space around him glowed with a soft, otherworldly light. It was like nothing he had ever seen before, more vivid and real than a mere dream. As he floated, Samuel's physical body seemed distant, as if it were something he had left behind. He was entirely engrossed in this new, ethereal experience. Soon, Samuel noticed faint, shadowy figures moving toward him. They looked like the celestial beings from his dreams, though they were more defined now. These figures moved gracefully and silently, their presence both mesmerizing and calming. Samuel sensed their importance, though he couldn't understand their purpose. Samuel tried to make sense of his surroundings. His rational mind, which had always depended on scientific explanations, struggled to grasp this new reality. It was clear this was not just a vision. It was a genuine experience that defied all his previous beliefs. The beings around him were waiting, their silent communication pressing Samuel to confront the reality he had long dismissed. From this strange dimension, Samuel could see flashes of the world he had left behind. His crashed car, the frantic paramedics, and the curious onlookers. He felt a strange connection to these scenes, but they seemed far away, viewed through a hazy, spiritual lens. The realm he was in was vividly real, yet so different from his usual understanding. The realization hit Samuel hard. He was at a pivotal moment, caught between life and death. This realm, though so close to Earth, was a reflection of the spiritual shift that had been foretold. The prophecy about the eclipse, the strange dreams, and the odd celestial signs suddenly made sense. This was the change he had been warned about, a profound cosmic event that would shift humanity's perception of reality. The celestial beings began to fade, their presence growing dimmer. It was clear that Samuel wasn't meant to stay here. He was being pulled back toward his broken body, toward the world he had just started to question. As they disappeared, Samuel felt a sense of loss and urgency. The peace he had felt in this realm was fleeting, and he was being drawn back to the reality he had left behind. In a flash, Samuel was back in the wreckage of his car, the paramedics working desperately to revive him. The vision of the celestial realm had vanished, but its impact on him was profound. He had seen a glimpse of something far beyond the physical world, a truth that defied his understanding. The eclipse, once just an astronomical event, had now become a symbol of a major transformation. As Samuel regained consciousness, gasping for air, he knew he was forever changed. The beings he had seen, the dimension he had visited, all of it had revealed a deeper truth about the universe. The lunar eclipse was not merely a celestial event, it was a cosmic shift that would alter humanity's understanding of reality. With the eclipse just days away, Samuel faced the daunting task of interpreting and sharing what he had experienced. The boundary between life and death had blurred, and with it, his entire understanding of the universe. The transformation he had witnessed was imminent, and Samuel had to come to terms with the reality of the changes that were about to unfold. When Samuel Rivers opened his eyes, he found himself in a place that was both familiar and utterly alien. Instead of the bustling chaos of his hospital room or the wreckage of his car, he was enveloped in a realm of glowing light and serene beauty. The atmosphere was calm, almost dreamlike, and everything around him radiated a gentle, otherworldly glow. It was as though he had stepped into a different dimension, a space between reality and the divine. Amidst this celestial setting, a remarkable figure emerged. The being was neither fully human nor entirely abstract, but a perfect blend of both, a majestic angel whose presence commanded both awe and comfort. Samuel couldn't help but feel a mix of reverence and curiosity as he gazed upon this otherworldly visitor. The angel spoke with a voice that was both soothing and powerful. "Samuel Rivers, you are not dead. You have been brought here to witness something of great importance before you return to your world." Samuel listened closely, feeling a sense of wonder and anxiety. The angel continued, revealing the true significance of the upcoming lunar eclipse. This eclipse is not just a celestial event. It is a cosmic shift that will profoundly impact humanity. This moment will test and reveal the core of human consciousness. The angel's words carried a weight that Samuel could feel deep within. To help him grasp the full meaning, the angel referred to ancient wisdom. The angel quoted, "Whenever there is a decline in righteousness and an increase in unrighteousness, at that time I manifest myself." This verse speaks of the universe's cyclical nature and the divine intervention that occurs when humanity is at a crucial crossroads. Samuel felt a profound internal struggle. His long-held belief in the material world was clashing with the spiritual truths being revealed to him. The angel's message challenged everything he had known. His rational mind, which had always leaned on scientific explanations, was now confronted with a reality that defied those explanations. The eclipse, the angel continued, will bring a choice for humanity to either embrace a higher spiritual understanding or remain in ignorance. This is a time of great potential and great danger. The choices made during this period will shape the future of humanity. Samuel's thoughts raced as he tried to comprehend the gravity of the angel's words. The revelation of the eclipse as a pivotal moment in human history was both enlightening and daunting. He realized he had been given a rare opportunity to witness something extraordinary, a cosmic event that would have far-reaching effects on the world. As the angel spoke, Samuel felt a deep sense of urgency. The message he was receiving was not just a personal revelation, but a universal truth that needed to be understood and shared. The conflict between his scientific worldview and the spiritual insights he was gaining was intense. The angel's guidance was crucial, but Samuel knew he had to fully understand this message before he could convey it to others. As the angel's presence began to fade, Samuel was left with a profound sense of purpose. He had been granted a glimpse into a greater reality, and now he had to prepare himself for the challenges ahead. The lunar eclipse was more than just a celestial event. It was a turning point that would reveal the path for humanity's future. Samuel's journey was far from over. He had been given a significant piece of the puzzle, but there was still much to learn. The message from the angel had set the stage for what was to come, and Samuel was now at the heart of this cosmic revelation. The internal conflict between his material beliefs and the spiritual truths would continue to shape his journey as he faced the upcoming eclipse and the choices it would bring. Samuel found himself in a series of powerful and unsettling visions. The peaceful celestial realm he was in suddenly gave way to disturbing scenes of disaster and despair. He saw a future where cities were devastated by environmental collapse. Once green areas were now empty and lifeless, destroyed by forces beyond human control. The sky was filled with smoke and nature seemed to have given up. Samuel could almost feel the weight of this environmental ruin pressing on him. Next, he was shown societies torn apart by endless wars. He saw cities under attack, people fleeing in fear, and the destruction of communities. The violence was intense, and Samuel felt the deep sadness of a world caught in constant conflict. The images were a harsh reminder of how devastating human conflict could be. Equally troubling were the scenes of spiritual emptiness. People wandered through their lives looking lost and disconnected from any sense of purpose or higher meaning. This spiritual void was vast and deep, as if humanity had lost its way and was drifting in a sea of confusion. The sense of collective despair was overwhelming, as if hope and meaning had vanished. Samuel felt an intense sorrow as he took in these scenes. The future he was seeing was bleak, full of suffering and disconnection. It was a heavy burden to bear, seeing the potential downfall of humanity if things did not change. Then the scene changed dramatically. Samuel was shown a realm of light and hope, where beings of light, radiant and serene, were preparing for the upcoming lunar eclipse. Their presence was comforting and full of promise. Unlike the previous visions of chaos, this realm was filled with a gentle and reassuring energy. The beings of light were actively preparing to guide humanity through the eclipse. Their movements were deliberate and full of purpose, aiming to help people achieve a higher state of consciousness. They were not just watching, they were working to make a positive difference. The contrast between the two visions was striking. On one side was the potential for ongoing suffering and chaos, while on the other was the promise of spiritual awakening and renewal. Samuel began to understand that the upcoming eclipse was a critical moment for humanity. The choices made during this time would determine whether people would move towards enlightenment or fall further into disarray. Samuel's role in this unfolding story became clearer. He had seen both the possible destruction and the potential for great transformation. The eclipse was not just a celestial event, it was a chance for humanity to make a choice that would shape their future. As the vision of the beings of light began to fade, Samuel felt a strong sense of responsibility. He had witnessed the extremes of what could happen and understood that humanity's future depended on the choices made during the eclipse. His task was now to reflect on these profound insights and prepare for the significant role he would play in this cosmic turning point. Samuel's journey was deeply connected to the fate of humanity. The revelations he had received were not just for him, but were universal truths that required thoughtful consideration and action. As he prepared for the eclipse, He knew that the decisions made during this time would be crucial for the future of the world. In the ethereal realm, the angel guided Samuel to a higher, more sacred space. This place shimmered with a divine light, far beyond anything Samuel had ever encountered. It felt like a realm of ultimate peace and profound significance. As Samuel took in the breathtaking beauty, he saw a figure of unparalleled grace and authority, Jesus. The presence of Jesus was both overwhelming and reassuring. His aura exuded a sense of love and serenity that enveloped Samuel completely. It was evident that this meeting was of the utmost importance, and Samuel prepared himself to listen intently. Jesus began to speak, and his words carried a weight of truth that deeply resonated with Samuel. He addressed the pressing issue of humanity's spiritual disconnection, explaining the urgent need for love, unity, and awakening. According to Jesus, the upcoming lunar eclipse was not just a celestial event, but a significant divine intervention. This eclipse would serve as a pivotal moment, presenting humanity with a crucial choice: to embrace spiritual awakening or to descend further into chaos and disorder. Jesus emphasized that this was a defining moment, highlighting the role of free will. Humanity would have the opportunity to choose between rising to a higher spiritual consciousness or continuing down a path of fragmentation and darkness. Each individual's choice would collectively shape the future of the world. Jesus also drew upon ancient wisdom and scriptures to support his message. He referenced timeless teachings about the cyclical nature of existence and the moral decisions that guide humanity. Whether quoting from the Bible or drawing from other sacred texts, his words served as a powerful reminder of the deep interconnectedness of all life and the necessity of spiritual alignment. Alongside his broader message, Jesus shared something deeply personal with Samuel. He revealed that Samuel's work as an astrologer, which Samuel had always viewed through the lens of logical analysis and celestial patterns, was intricately connected to the larger cosmic forces. Samuel had always seen his astrological work as a scientific endeavor, but Jesus revealed that it was part of a greater cosmic design. Samuel discovered that his life's work had been more than just a pursuit of knowledge. It had been preparing him for this critical moment of spiritual revelation. The alignment between his work and the cosmic forces was not coincidental, but a purposeful preparation for his role in this transformative event. This realization was both humbling and enlightening for Samuel. The encounter with Jesus provided Samuel with profound clarity. His long-held skepticism seemed to melt away as he recognized the deep link between his rational pursuits and spiritual truths. His journey as an astrologer had been leading him to this intersection of science and spirituality, allowing him to understand and contribute to the spiritual awakening that was about to unfold. As Samuel prepared to return to his earthly life, he was filled with a renewed sense of purpose and responsibility. The insights gained from his meeting with Jesus had given him a deeper understanding of the cosmic shift and the crucial role he would play. Samuel now faced the task of integrating this new knowledge into his life and preparing to share it with others. The message from Jesus was not only a revelation for Samuel, but also a call to action. It was clear that the choices made by individuals during the eclipse would have significant consequences. Samuel's role was to help others navigate this critical moment, guiding them toward spiritual awakening and away from chaos. With this newfound clarity and purpose, Samuel was ready to face the challenges ahead. The encounter with Jesus had opened his eyes to the deeper truths of existence and had prepared him to be a beacon of light during this time of great transformation. As he returned to the world, Samuel carried with him a profound sense of duty and a deep understanding of the cosmic forces shaping humanity's future. Samuel stood in awe as the grand celestial event unfolded before him. The universe seemed to hold its breath, perfectly aligning for a momentous occasion: the lunar eclipse. The moon began its slow journey into Earth's shadow, creating a breathtaking spectacle that Samuel could hardly believe. The celestial bodies moved in a graceful, synchronized dance, each one playing its part in a grand cosmic symphony. As the eclipse deepened, Samuel noticed something extraordinary. The boundary between the physical world and the spiritual realm grew incredibly thin. It was as if the usual separation between these two worlds was melting away, allowing Samuel to glimpse both at once. The night sky was alive with swirling shadows and brilliant flashes of light, creating a stunning canvas of celestial beauty. The angel next to Samuel began to explain the deeper meaning of the eclipse. As the moon fully covered the sun, people on Earth would begin to feel a subtle change in their consciousness. This shift might be experienced as a faint feeling of unease or a sudden spark of insight. For most, it would be like a fleeting whisper or a passing thought, barely noticeable. However, a select few, those with a deeper spiritual awareness or insight, would grasp the full significance of this change. The angel's explanation painted a vivid picture of a world on the brink of transformation. While some people would sense this shift and seek to understand it, many would remain unaware, their lives continuing as if nothing had changed. Only those willing to look beyond the surface and explore the spiritual depths of this celestial event would truly understand its meaning. At the height of the eclipse, the angel revealed an astonishing twist. This moment was not just a random alignment of celestial bodies, but a critical part of a grand cosmic plan. Every star, planet, and moon had been precisely positioned to create this divine intervention. Samuel's knowledge of astrology, which he had always considered a tool for making predictions, suddenly took on a new and profound significance. The alignment of the celestial bodies was more than just a beautiful display. It was a symbol of an incredible opportunity for human enlightenment. Samuel had always been skeptical about the deeper meanings of celestial events, but now he saw them in a new light. His role as an astrologer was not just about mapping the stars, but about understanding and participating in a grand cosmic design. The eclipse was a rare chance for humanity to experience spiritual awakening. It was an opportunity to transcend everyday concerns and connect with higher truths. Samuel's understanding of his place in the universe shifted dramatically. He was no longer just an observer of celestial patterns, but a key participant in an event of immense importance. As the eclipse continued, Samuel felt a profound sense of wonder and reverence. The stars and planets shone with an intensified brilliance, and the entire cosmos seemed to pulse with energy. This moment was filled with potential, and Samuel felt a deep connection to the universe. Samuel realized that the choices people made during this cosmic shift would have significant consequences. The subtle shift in consciousness was not just a theoretical idea, but a real chance for personal and collective transformation. It was an opportunity for people to awaken to a higher level of understanding and align themselves with their true purpose. With this newfound understanding, Samuel felt a strong sense of responsibility. He knew he had to help others recognize and embrace this opportunity for spiritual growth. The cosmic shift was more than just a celestial event. It was a chance for profound personal and collective change. As he prepared to return to the earthly realm, Samuel was filled with a renewed sense of purpose. He was eager to share his insights and guide others through this transformative period. The cosmic shift had revealed the interconnectedness of the universe in a way that filled him with awe and determination. Samuel was ready to inspire and enlighten those around him, helping them make the most of this extraordinary moment. Samuel's eyes fluttered open, adjusting slowly to the harsh artificial light of the hospital room. The steady beeping of the heart monitor and the low hum of medical equipment surrounded him, pulling him back to the land of the living. He felt an overwhelming heaviness in his body, a constant reminder of the brutal car crash that had nearly claimed his life. Each movement was labored, his muscles aching as if they had been through an exhausting ordeal. The accident was a vivid, almost surreal memory. But as Samuel came back to reality, the true weight of his survival began to settle in. He had been given a second chance at life, and with it came a profound understanding of the upcoming lunar eclipse. This celestial event was not just a cosmic phenomenon, but a pivotal moment for all humanity. The revelations he had experienced during his near-death encounter were both awe-inspiring and burdensome. Samuel's return to the physical world was accompanied by a newfound awareness of the deep cosmic shift that lay ahead. The challenge now was not just about grasping this knowledge, but figuring out how to communicate it effectively to a world that might not be ready to hear it. As Samuel's strength returned, so did the weight of the message he was now entrusted with. He had glimpsed the future, seen the potential for both incredible spiritual awakening and devastating chaos. This knowledge came with a responsibility that was both thrilling and daunting. Samuel knew that the lunar eclipse represented a critical juncture for humanity. The chance for enlightenment was within reach, but delivering this message in a way that would resonate with others was a significant challenge. Samuel had always relied on logic and empirical evidence. As an esteemed astrologer, he had built his career on understanding celestial patterns and their earthly implications. But now, his experience had introduced him to a realm beyond the physical, a spiritual dimension that defied his previous understanding. He faced the challenge of bridging his deep, newfound insights with the skepticism and rationality of the world he was returning to. The urgency to share his experience was palpable. Samuel felt a deep sense of responsibility to communicate the importance of the lunar eclipse and the spiritual awakening it represented. But self-doubt and fear loomed large. What if people dismissed his message as the ramblings of someone who had suffered trauma? The world Samuel was re-entering was skeptical and often resistant to spiritual revelations. The prospect of his message being ignored or ridiculed weighed heavily on him. The fate of humanity seemed to hang in a delicate balance, and Samuel was acutely aware of the stakes. The cosmic shift he had witnessed was not just a concept, but a tangible opportunity for collective transformation. Samuel's role in this was to inspire people to recognize the significance of the eclipse and the choices they faced. He needed to find a way to make his message compelling and accessible, something that could cut through skepticism and reach the hearts and minds of others. Determined not to let fear and doubt deter him, Samuel set out on a mission to share his experience. He explored various avenues, writing a book, speaking at conferences, and connecting with individuals who might be receptive to his message. He realized that his story needed to be more than just a recounting of events. It had to be a call to action, encouraging people to reflect on their lives and the spiritual potential of the coming eclipse. Samuel knew that to make a difference, his message had to resonate on an emotional level. It had to inspire people to think beyond their everyday concerns and consider the profound opportunity that the lunar eclipse presented. The shift in consciousness was a chance to elevate human understanding and unity, but it required a collective effort to seize it. As Samuel prepared to leave the hospital, his resolve was stronger than ever. The journey ahead was fraught with challenges, but he was ready to face them. He was committed to spreading the message of spiritual awakening and helping others understand the significance of the lunar eclipse. Samuel was determined to be a guiding force, illuminating the path to a future filled with hope and connection. In the weeks that followed, Samuel threw himself into his mission with renewed vigor. He reached out to friends, family, and the wider community, sharing his story and the insights he had gained. He wrote articles, gave interviews, and engaged in conversations, all aimed at raising awareness and inspiring action. The eclipse was drawing closer, and Samuel felt a profound urgency to ensure that as many people as possible understood its significance. His efforts were met with a mix of curiosity, skepticism, and enthusiasm. Samuel encountered both support and resistance, but he remained undeterred. The knowledge he carried was too important to keep to himself. He was driven by the hope that his message could spark a broader awareness and encourage people to embrace the spiritual opportunity that lay ahead. As the date of the lunar eclipse approached, Samuel continued to work tirelessly. He felt a deep connection to the cosmic events unfolding and a strong sense of purpose. His mission was clear: to guide humanity through the profound changes that were coming and to help people recognize the chance for transformation. Samuel's journey was far from over, but he was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, committed to making a difference in the world. The long-awaited night of the lunar eclipse had arrived, and with it came a sense of profound anticipation. Samuel, who had been deeply immersed in the events leading up to this moment, felt a mix of awe and nervous excitement. As the moon began to darken, slipping into the shadow of the eclipse, Samuel knew that this was no ordinary celestial event. It was a pivotal moment that could potentially transform the course of humanity. Samuel stood at his window, gazing up at the sky. The moon, usually so bright and clear, was now being cloaked in darkness. To Samuel, this eclipse represented more than just an astronomical phenomenon. It was a time when the boundary between the physical world and the spiritual realm grew incredibly thin. This rare cosmic alignment was about to reveal its true significance, and Samuel was keenly aware of the powerful spiritual energy that seemed to fill the air. As the eclipse began to unfold, people across the globe responded in a variety of ways. For some, the celestial event triggered an immediate and profound shift in their consciousness. They felt a deep sense of connection and insight, as if the eclipse had opened a window into a higher state of awareness. These individuals began to experience feelings of peace and clarity, sensing that something greater than themselves was at work. In contrast, many others went about their usual routines, barely acknowledging the eclipse's significance. For them, the night passed without much notice, and the transformative potential of the event remained largely unnoticed. Their focus stayed on everyday concerns, leaving them unaware of the deeper spiritual opportunity presented by the eclipse. As the eclipse reached its zenith, the tension was almost palpable. Samuel felt the weight of the moment, knowing that this was a crucial time for humanity. The celestial alignment was not merely a visual spectacle, but a chance for significant spiritual growth. The world was standing at a crossroads, and the choices made during this period could have far-reaching consequences. The suspense was heightened by the uncertainty of how humanity would respond. Samuel watched the sky, his mind racing with thoughts about the potential outcomes. The eclipse was a powerful symbol of the interconnectedness of the universe, a reminder that our lives are deeply intertwined with the cosmic forces at play. The question was whether humanity would rise to embrace this opportunity for enlightenment, or whether it would remain stuck in its old patterns. The atmosphere was charged with a sense of urgency as the eclipse continued. Samuel felt a deep connection to the grand cosmic narrative unfolding before him. The night was not just about watching a celestial event, it was about witnessing a moment of profound spiritual significance. The eclipse offered a rare chance for human beings to shift their consciousness and align with a higher state of awareness. Samuel's thoughts were consumed by the implications of the eclipse. This was a moment that could redefine humanity's future, a time when the choices and actions of individuals could determine the course of collective consciousness. As the moon moved through the shadow, Samuel remained on edge, his heart echoing the uncertainty and hope of the night. The eclipse was more than just a cosmic event. It was a defining moment that could shape the future of humanity. Samuel felt the gravity of the night's significance as he watched the celestial alignment reach its climax. The outcome of this event remained uncertain, and the future of humanity depended on how people responded to the spiritual opportunity presented by the eclipse. The night of the eclipse was a critical juncture, a cosmic crossroads where the direction of human consciousness could be shaped. Samuel's experience was a reflection of this grand cosmic drama, and the outcome of the night would reveal whether humanity was ready to embrace a higher state of awareness. The suspense of the moment was tangible, and the stakes were incredibly high. As the eclipse continued, Samuel's role in this cosmic narrative became increasingly apparent. He was both a witness and a participant in a grand event that had the potential to transform the world. The eclipse was a powerful reminder of the interconnections of all things, and Samuel's experience was a testament to the profound significance of this celestial moment. The night was a key chapter in the story of humanity, a moment that would determine whether the collective consciousness would evolve or remain static. Samuel's thoughts and feelings were deeply intertwined with the cosmic events unfolding before him. The future was still being written, and the outcome of the eclipse would depend on the choices made by individuals and the collective response to this extraordinary opportunity for spiritual awakening. As the lunar eclipse came to a close, Samuel Rivers found himself reflecting deeply on the profound experience he had just lived through. The moon, which had briefly cloaked itself in darkness, now shone brightly again, illuminating the night sky with its familiar glow. For many, the eclipse was merely a fleeting astronomical event, a beautiful but brief spectacle. Yet for Samuel, it was an extraordinary moment that had reshaped his understanding of life and the universe. Samuel took in the serene beauty of the night sky, now fully revealed. The eclipse had been more than just a cosmic occurrence. It was a pivotal event with deep spiritual significance. He had witnessed how this celestial event was not just a physical phenomenon, but a marker of a larger cosmic shift. He had seen how some individuals experienced a profound transformation during the eclipse. These people felt a sudden and deep connection to something greater than themselves. They had opened their minds and hearts to a higher level of awareness, recognizing the unity and interconnectedness of all life. This awakening had led them to a new understanding of their place in the universe. However, not everyone had felt this shift. Many continued their lives as if nothing had changed, oblivious to the deeper meaning of the eclipse. They remained focused on their everyday routines and material concerns, missing the chance to embrace the spiritual awakening that had been offered. The eclipse was part of a grand cosmic plan, Samuel realized. The alignment of the celestial bodies was not a mere coincidence, but a carefully orchestrated event meant to provide humanity with an opportunity for enlightenment. The universe had created this moment to offer a chance for people to elevate their consciousness and connect more deeply with the cosmic forces at play. Samuel's knowledge of astrology took on new significance. He understood that the alignment of stars and planets during the eclipse was symbolic of a larger divine intention. The celestial arrangement represented an opportunity for humans to achieve a higher state of awareness and understanding. With a sense of duty, Samuel prepared to share his newfound insights with others. The eclipse had given him a powerful revelation about the nature of existence and humanity's role within it. He understood that the event was not just a celestial occurrence but a divine intervention, a moment when the boundary between the physical and spiritual worlds had been especially thin. Samuel's message was clear and compelling. He spoke about the need for humanity to embrace a higher state of consciousness, to move beyond material concerns, and to reconnect with the cosmos. He emphasized that the choices people made following the eclipse were crucial in determining their future and the future of the world. Samuel's final message was a heartfelt appeal for reflection and action. He encouraged his audience to examine their own spiritual journeys and consider the impact of their choices. The eclipse had been a moment of cosmic significance, but its true power depended on how people responded to it. He urged everyone to recognize the intercommunities of humanity and the universe. By aligning with the cosmic shift and making choices that reflected higher consciousness, individuals could contribute to a more harmonious and enlightened world. Samuel's message was one of hope and empowerment, highlighting the potential for a brighter future if people chose to embrace the spiritual opportunities presented to them. As the night gave way to dawn, Samuel felt a profound sense of fulfillment and hope. The eclipse had served as a catalyst for change, and now it was up to each person to decide how they would respond. The future of humanity was still unfolding, and it was in the hands of those who were willing to heed the call for spiritual awakening. Samuel's journey had shown him that the universe is full of mysteries and possibilities for growth. The eclipse had been a powerful reminder of the cosmic connections that bind us all, and the potential for spiritual transformation that exists within each person. With a hopeful heart, Samuel looked toward the future, believing that the message of the eclipse would inspire positive change and guide humanity toward a more enlightened path. As the lunar eclipse drew to a close, Samuel Rivers slowly awoke in his hospital bed, his mind buzzing with the extraordinary experiences of the past few days. The celestial event that had captured the world's attention was now over, but its effects on Samuel and humanity were just beginning to unfold. The sky outside had returned to its usual appearance, but for Samuel, everything had shifted. The eclipse had been a profound, transformative experience, reshaping his understanding of the universe and his place in it. The aftermath of the eclipse revealed a world in flux. Some people had embraced the moment as a chance to reach a higher state of consciousness. They felt a deep, newfound connection with a greater purpose, a sense of unity that extended beyond the material world. This spiritual awakening had been a beacon of hope for many, illuminating the path to a more enlightened existence. However, not everyone had felt this shift. For others, the eclipse was just another night, a beautiful but ultimately insignificant event. They remained wrapped in their material concerns, unable or unwilling to recognize the deeper spiritual opportunity presented by the celestial alignment. Samuel's journey had unveiled a profound truth. The universe is a tapestry of interconnected forces, where celestial events hold spiritual significance. The lunar eclipse was not merely an astronomical phenomenon, but a symbol of a grand cosmic plan. The alignment of the planets and stars had not been a random occurrence, but a carefully orchestrated moment of divine intervention. Samuel understood that this alignment represented a crucial opportunity for humanity to transcend everyday concerns and connect with a higher consciousness. The cosmos and human spirituality were deeply intertwined, reflecting a universal design that sought to elevate human awareness. Samuel's transformation was nothing short of extraordinary. Once a skeptic, he had devoted his life to studying celestial patterns through a scientific lens. Yet, the experiences he had during the eclipse had shattered his skepticism and opened his eyes to spiritual realities he had previously dismissed. This journey from disbelief to profound spiritual insight highlighted the potential for personal transformation. Samuel's story illustrated how even those who rely heavily on rationality can be touched by spiritual truths, bridging the gap between skepticism and faith. His experiences underscored the possibility of profound personal change when confronted with deeper cosmic truths. The eclipse had presented humanity with a pivotal choice. Samuel's reflections made it clear that the outcome of this cosmic shift depended on the choices people made. The celestial event had opened a window for spiritual growth, but it was up to each individual and society as a whole to seize this opportunity. The future of humanity hinged on whether people would rise to a higher level of awareness or fall back into old patterns of chaos and disarray. Samuel's insights emphasized the power of individual and collective decisions in shaping the course of humanity's future, reminding everyone that their choices held significant weight in the grand scheme of things. Samuel's experience highlighted the delicate balance between faith and science. As an astrologer, he had always relied on scientific observations and empirical data. However, the eclipse had introduced him to a realm beyond the physical, a realm where spiritual truths intersected with scientific understanding. This blending of rationality and spirituality showcased how both perspectives could coexist and enrich each other. Samuel's journey illustrated that science and faith need not be mutually exclusive. Instead, they could work together to provide a more comprehensive understanding of the universe. His story served as a bridge between empirical evidence and spiritual insight, showing how both can offer valuable perspectives on existence. As the first light of dawn began to break through the hospital room window, Samuel felt a deep sense of fulfillment and hope. The eclipse had been a catalyst for change, offering humanity a chance to embrace spiritual awakening and connect with a higher purpose. The future remains uncertain, shaped by the responses of individuals and societies to this cosmic event. Samuel's message was one of empowerment and introspection, urging everyone to consider their own spiritual journeys and the impact of their choices on the world. Samuel knew that the echoes of the eclipse would resonate long after the event had passed. They served as a reminder of humanity's interconnectedness and the potential for spiritual growth. As he lay in his hospital bed, he hoped that his experience would inspire others to reflect on their place in the universe and the choices they made. The lunar eclipse had been a powerful reminder of the cosmic shift that had occurred, and the opportunity for humanity to rise to a higher level of consciousness. In conclusion, Samuel's story was a testament to the deep connections between celestial events and spiritual awakening. It highlighted the importance of personal transformation, the power of human choice, and the balance between faith and science. As humanity looked to the future, the lessons of the eclipse would continue to guide and inspire, reminding everyone of their place in the grand cosmic design and the potential for spiritual enlightenment. And there you have it, the incredible journey of Samuel Rivers, from skepticism to profound spiritual awakening. As we've seen, the lunar eclipse was not just a celestial event, but a pivotal moment of cosmic significance, revealing the deep interconnectedness of all things and the crucial choices we face as a global community. What did you think of Samuel's transformation? Do you believe that such cosmic events can truly shift human consciousness? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this journey and want to dive deeper into stories of transformation, spirituality, and the mysteries of the universe, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. By subscribing, you'll stay updated with our latest content and be part of our growing community. Like this video if it resonated with you, and share it with friends and family who might find inspiration in Samuel's story. Your support helps us bring more captivating stories and insights to you. Thank you for watching, and remember, our choices shape the future, and the cosmos is always watching. Stay tuned for more.